Kaiju number 8, let's react. So the last episode was just insanely hype. We get to see Kafka fighting in his Kaiju form for the first time, and it was just absolutely insane. He took down a Kaiju in one hit, and it was just beautiful. It was fantastic. Also, Kafka and Rino meet this girl, Kikoru, who has a suit that pretty much gives her like superhuman strength. Also, Kikoru ends up smelling Kafka and she says that he smells like a kaiju. So either he still smells like a kaiju from, you know, his job, or for being part kaiju now. So I'm very excited to see how this next episode goes. But before I get started with the reaction, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. So let's jump right in and see what Kaiju number 8 has in store for us. Oh wow, even Kafka in his human form has super strength. Okay, so now knowing that, he definitely has to be like extra careful when it comes to like, you know, taking part in these exams. Oh, he's pissed. He is pissed that Kafka like screwed up again. Oh, so it wasn't really Kafka's like super, like he didn't have super strength. He just like transformed part of his body in order to lift his car back up. Man, if Kafka passes, becomes part of the 4th Division Defense Force, and ends up working with Mina again, bro, those two, they would be such a dynamic duo. They would just be an absolute unit together. So I feel like that part of the test, Kafka might have to like use his Kaiju abilities just a tiny bit in order to potentially pass. I mean, if like no one notices that he uses like, that he just transforms like maybe his legs or something so he can like run faster. Wow, he ranked pretty dang low. He ranked pretty dang low. I mean, he could use his powers if he's just like a little bit sneaky with it. It's possible, you know, and like it would be possible, especially like no one notices. Wow, he ranked pretty low, almost at the bottom. And she ranked 5th? Yo, and she's not even using that suit? Unless like she's like just hiding it, so like she could potentially just be like hiding or like that she's wearing it. That's why she ranked 5th. But either way, 5th is crazy. I mean, it's not cheating if he uses his Kaiju powers. Like he's just using, you know, he's just using his abilities to his benefit, you know. And like it's not really cheating because he's trying to become part of the defense force, and you know, if he uses his abilities in a way, he's helping them out. And he's just like hurting them by not using his abilities, his Kaiju abilities, you know. So like he should probably use it, and it, like I wouldn't consider it cheating if he did. Wow, he ranked 2nd. Okay, so he might be pretty interesting. And then this dude ranked 3rd. Okay, so we're getting to see a little bit like of other people who are, you know, wow, he is 1st. But like we're starting to see like other characters who are trying out to become part of the defense force, and because we saw the first, like the top 3 like candidates, hopefully we get to see what they can really do. Okay, so it's probably not just her suit that gives her like, you know, like this status of being called like, you know, the greatest talent and everything, but the fact that like she skipped grades and all of that, so like she's probably just like also intelligent, so it's not just like her abilities but also like her smarts. God damn, her security detail was so quick on that. They were so quick with that. Come on, Kafka, just use your Kaiju abilities. Just like transform like parts of your body where they're not going to see, and just, you know, use that to your advantage. It's not cheating. You're in a way, you're just helping out the defense force. Oh, so they really are gonna have to find Kaijus and take them down. Yo, this is where Kafka's gonna shine. This is where he's absolutely gonna shine. If he just uses his Kaiju abilities secretly, he will do just fine. But I'm sure I feel like it's also gonna be like how they do it in My Hero when you're trying to get into UA. It's like not only do you have to like get the most points and everything, but like if you show heroism, then that gives you a huge edge over like other people who are kind of like just in for themselves. So I feel like that's what's gonna happen here. Kafka's gonna end up saving someone, and you know they're gonna realize, okay, this dude, you know, even though he sucked at everything else, you know, he managed to save someone. So I mean that means something. Wow, it like fits to the body and everything. Okay, so it's kind of like the nano suit or everything, or like, you know, Spider-Man suit in the MCU. So it gives him like a physical boost in a way. So it's not just like, it's, these like suits aren't just like for fashion or anything. Like it seems like it actually will give you like a physical boost to help you out. Now imagine Kafka using this while in like using part of his kaiju abilities. Yo, he would be a menace. He would be an absolute menace if he manages to like, you know, transform part of his body into like a kaiju, like part of the kaiju form. He would be insane. Are they talking about Kafka? They're possibly talking about Kafka. Oh, they're not. She's 46%. Yo, she is cracked. She definitely is cracked. Is it Kafka? Is Kafka's at 0? Yo, I thought like it would somehow measure like his kaiju like powers and everything, and like it would have gone through the roof. But maybe if he does turn into a kaiju, maybe it will like, it will sense that like, you know, that power increase. Again, if Kafka just uses part of his kaiju abilities, here is where he's going to shine. He will shine like no one else. Damn, if they have to activate that shield and save you, you're done. So that means Kafka really has to use his abilities here. And if he doesn't, he's out. Yo, she is absolutely insane though. Like she can be terrifying to go up against. And she's quick with a gun too. I know she said like hunting kaijus or like killing kaijus is her hobby, but this is just insane. She is quick with a gun. Yo, Kafka, now that Mina's here, you have to use your abilities. Now that she's there, you gotta show off. You gotta show off for Mina right now. That is smart. That they could just be like a support crew or like a support unit for those who are actually like good when it comes to offensive attacks. But also Kafka can be part of that offensive attack if he just uses his kaiju abilities. See that working for like the disposal team and everything, it is helping him out so much. He has so much knowledge on different kaijus that this would actually give him an edge. See, okay, so now he probably doesn't have to like necessarily use his kaiju abilities because he knows about like so many kaijus that, yeah, this could, you know, give him an edge. Man, that is so disgusting, but at the same time, that is so cool. Yeah, you don't have to, you might not have to use it, but like, just use it. Just use it, because why not? You would be their ace in the hole. Oh, he got blindsided. He got blindsided. So now he for sure has to use it. He for sure has to use his kaiju abilities. Nah, he doesn't need the shield. He doesn't need the shield whatsoever. He just needs to use just a tiny bit of his kaiju powers. Just a tiny bit, and he takes that kaiju out right away. Oh, I was really hoping he was gonna like use his kaiju abilities. I was really hoping for that. Of course she had to help. Of course she had to save him. But like, again, if he just used his kaiju abilities, he wouldn't need to be saved. All right, Kafka, come on, be serious now. Be serious. Use your abilities and show her up. See, you're like, turn it into part kaiju. Turn it into part kaiju right now. No, you don't. Just use your kaiju abilities. Just like change like part of your body into it. Just change part of your body into like a kaiju, and then you'll be fine. You'll be solid. You won't have to like, they won't know, except for the combat power somehow going up. Other than that, they're not gonna know what's going on with you. Oh, it slightly went up. It slightly went up. So either this is just pure determination, or his kaiju abilities are kind of slipping a little bit, and he's like just a tiny bit using his kaiju abilities. Either way, he's still in this. He is still in this. So this was not bad. This was not bad whatsoever. You know, like, so pretty much the second part of, you know, the exams of, you know, becoming part of the defense force is you have the fitness test and the aptitude test. The fitness test, Kafka did horrible. He was almost dead last, but then we got to meet like the top 3, and then, you know, obviously Kikoro, she was in top 5, and like she excelled in all of that. She excelled in the fitness test and everything. You know, she did pretty well, and it seems like she was doing it without her suit. But then the second part of the aptitude test, you know, where they had to take down kaijus, this is where she went off. She went off like crazy. Like they got the suits and everything that the defense force wears, right? And it was measuring like, you know, their power, like how much like power they have and everything. She broke the record for them. She broke the record at 46%. Everyone else was probably like around like 18, you know, and that was like from the guy who ranked #1 in the fitness test. You know, he had 18 and everything, but she had 46. She, like, I thought it was just a suit that gave her like, you know, like this status of like everyone thinking like, oh, she's insane, she's amazing, all this and that. But no, it seems like she wasn't, unless she is wearing her suit, but even then, like, she's still insane. She's still insane either way. And then like, you know, Kafka, like he was at 0, you know, and they were just talking about like, oh, I've never seen someone who had a combat power of like 0% yet. Kafka was the only one. And so he's like, well, there's a chance you're going to be the first one out. You know, there's a chance you're just not going to pass because you're at 0%. And then when the final part of the exam starts, Kikoro, she just goes off. She is flying off the walls and everything. You know, she's running off the walls, jumping off them, and just doing 360 no scopes on a bunch of kaijus. Bro, she's terrifying. She is absolutely terrifying. But what was also interesting about this aptitude test is that they weren't trying to like score you based on how many kaijus you killed, because if they did, they wouldn't have used drones. And this is where Kafka and Reno realized something. They're like, oh, they're not testing us on how many kaijus we can kill. They're testing us on how well we can adapt in battle. And because of this kind of like gave them an edge a little bit. So Kafka and Reno go support one team. You know, they were kind of having trouble a little bit with this one kaiju, but Kafka recognized that kaiju. He's like, oh, I've cleaned that thing up before. And he knows its weakness. And because of it, they managed to take down that kaiju without Kafka and Reno having to like really do any like offensive work except throwing a stun grenade. So things were really looking up for them until another kaiju that was the same kind as the one that, you know, they helped take down ends up blindsiding Kafka and kind of breaking some bones and, you know, kind of like nearly causing him to fail. And this is where I think Kafka should have used like just a little bit of his kaiju abilities, because he's wearing the suit and everything. So like no one's gonna really know, I feel like, if he ends up using, you know, just a tiny bit of his kaiju abilities. And if he did, one, it would have looked so good for him, because they would have realized like, oh damn, you know, even though he's at 0%, unless it would end up measuring that he is using kaiju abilities, but let's just say it doesn't, it would look good for him because they're like, dang, this guy's actually pretty strong. It is insane. 2, Kikoro wouldn't have to have saved him and kind of like humiliate him again. And 3, he also ended up humiliating himself in front of Mina again, and that's what he didn't want to do. And so when they were kind of telling him like, hey, you got to go to like the infirmary, and you know, you're done because you have too many broken bones, like your vitals aren't looking good, you know, this and that. And so they were telling him like, yeah, you probably should just, it'd probably be best for you to drop out. And Kafka, like, his determination was just like, no, like, I'm going to pass this. I'm going to be by Mina's side and everything. I'm staying in on this. And his power, even though it didn't go up a whole lot, it still went up. And so instead of being 0%, it was at 0.01%. So either that's his kaiju abilities kind of like leaking, like his kaiju power is kind of leaking out a little bit, or this is just pure determination, which either way, it looks good for Kafka. It looks really good for him. But that is all I have to say for this episode, so I'm going to end the video here. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for my other reactions, also for my discussion videos. So if you're into any of those, definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, you know, the whole thing. So with all that being said, again, thank y'all for watching. Until next time, see ya.